Alright, welcome to another tutorial in PHP. We're going to open our XAMPP. Don't forget to run your XAMPP as administrator. Run your XAMPP as administrator. First of all, start your Apache. We'll not be using MySQL, so you can keep that for now. When we get there, we'll start using that. So we have our Apache. Then the next thing to do is to open our folder location. And this is where we created our bootcamp PHP and our lesson 1. How did I get here? Come to, after you have installed your XAMPP, go to localhost, click on XAMPP, go to htdocs, go to the bootcamp class PHP. Then you have this. So we're going to create another lesson. So we go to our terminal and say make directory. We want to make lesson 2. Alright, so sorry, I used the double D, so remove the once D out of it and we create that. Then we enter into our lesson 2. So then we have to call our VS Code to open that for us. So if we have done that, our VS Code has open. Yeah, so we have our lesson item here. So we can create our index.php on this lesson item. Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to be looking at a variable in PHP. So we put our PHP syntax. We just can't work PHP without having a syntax, and I've explained to us that all we need to do is to create this. We don't need to put the ending, since we are not going to use an HTML element vignette. So we want to look at PHP data types. So the first data type we will look at is a string. A string, as we tend to define it in programming, is a series of characters that connotes alphabet, number, alphabet, character. It can have anything within it. PHP, as people define, is a lazy language. It doesn't really specify the type of what you are using, unless you want to call it when you are using a class. But for your normal variables, it can just get your variable and define your data type with the format you are using. So we call this string here, and we can use it likewise right here. And this is a string. You can have a symbol, even an emoji also. So we can use the hello world too. Alright, so because it's going to display on HTML document, and HTML can carry even symbols. So that is it for your string. So we will also look at an we can echo it out and print it out by using an echo. So we can also get the data type. So we can get the data type of the string using get data type, right? So we can get that information there. So we want to look at an integer. An integer has a number. It can be 0, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, but it's called an integer with a series of numbers attached to it. So we can also print that too. Alright, and get the type of it also. A float also have the decimal and number attached to it. Alright, so we can also get that too. That type also. We also have a boolean. Boolean is a data type that tells us if a data is true or false when being indicated. So we can have a boolean also, and we can also get a boolean data type by this sequential aspect. But if you see, because it's a boolean, we have to just declare it direct here using an echo statement with a parenthesis, so we can let's define it truly. All right, so a true or false statement, it will give you a true or false. This thing is a what we call if a single if condition. Don't think we should use this format here to echo this, so you can get there when we get there. So I will just change that. I'm not going to use that. That will confuse you people. So let's just echo it the way it is. So I will echo it just the way it is. Don't want to give people any false indication. And put it in bolding. It's already staying value true. And the reason why we can't declare it direct is because it's saving it as a string here, true value here. So it's going to come out a little bit an error, but let's go with it than just giving what we have not taught yet. So we can get the data type also. And it's good to note that in PHP we have what we call an array. So before we get to an array, it's going to be very lengthy. Let's save this work and look at what we have done. So I'll open my browser. I will come to localhost. I want to see my bootcamp PHP class lesson 2. Alright, so when I click that, see I have my hello world, and with the symbol here, with the first thing we did with the string. We have the one with the integer. Alright, with the integer. Alright, yeah. Then we have the one with the float, which is telling us that it's a double, because a float in PHP is called a double. But you see, when we define and try to echo our error, it gives us a value error because we can't really echo a boolean directly called the true value. But it's better you know that, so that when we are using the if condition, we'll work on that again. Then we can also echo it that way instead of using another if condition to declare it. So we'll get there, we'll do that. So even having an error does not really count. And I've told you how to do a line break in your work last week. You want to break this line to the next part, you just come here, enter, and declare echo your HTML break. Alright, just come here and do this and put your break tag. That will help you out. Alright, if I copy this and paste here, go down to I get this and paste there. Alright, go down and get to this, and I also paste there. Alright, so I will have a good look of my if I reload, I will have a good look breakdown. Okay, I didn't do that for an integer. Let's go back and look at an integer. Yeah, I didn't put a string here. Breakdown. So if I come down now and reload, I will have my various data types being specified, and the error which we consciously did to define, to explain to us how boolean will display on your web. So that's a good one. So let's go to array now. So an array in Python can be any way declared. Before, it was really done with the definition of this symbol array, alright, which we are seeing now. Alright, so it was done with this symbol array. So we are having apple, banana, and cherry. So if we come here, we can call the array. And remember, we discussed that PHP has a lot of way in, I think that's in our physical class, of declaring a PHP. We have the echo statement. We also have the print um, kind of way of defining the echo. So you can echo your array with this. You can echo your array with this, and you can print your this different print is different. This one you are printing it based on the presentation on your server, so it comes the way it is on your server. So we're going to see this print is not normally we use because of Python nowadays. We frequently use the echo statement instead of using this print statement, but this is used for test running your presentation of your data from your server. So I will just run it so you see, and put a break here. All right, put a break here. All right. So let's reload this. All right, so we have the array string. All right, sorry. We have the array here. It's being break by here. It's supposed to be break by. I'll copy this and paste here. Sorry for that. And go here and paste it here. All right, and the echo statement was to declare our array at this place instead of doing the break here. Alright, so we have a break there. We can declare our array from directly here and say array does not affect. I don't want to call the array index. Let's just do what we can. So we can see call the array directly. It will give us an error, but let us just show you that. And we have the echo the break here. So let's echo the break here also. Alright, so we can echo break. Alright, so alright, so we have the two breaks here, break here, and we have the presentation of our array. So let's see what really happened. So you see here we have an error because undefined variable array var comma end array var. Alright, array var. This one is not properly defined. Array, then this value is out. Alright, so that's for my end. So let's reload this. So running array to string conversion is impossible. Alright, running again, array to string conversion is impossible. Just like your boolean, you can't call your array direct. So you have to use your print arrow to indicate what you are doing. So it allows you to show you way the data type is presented in the server, just the way it is, printing it in the structure format. So that's what your print array does for you. I think we've explained that now, so you can see the error that came along with it. Alright, so with this print array we are set to go. So it gives us this, which tells us that our array has an apple, a banana, and a cherry. So if you see, definitely there's an indexing code. It's telling you that the array has an indexing of 0 for apple, for banana 1, for cherry 2, because the same way it follows in all programming language when you are atomizing a multiple item on a sequence, or you begin with giving it the first item to be 0, second item to be 1, and the third item to be 2. So that's the way 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the calculation is being done. So if we want to print an array item, can get the property there. Okay, we want to print an array, the item of an array directly. We can echo it direct, but this time if we're echoing direct, we will call the array itself. We'll call the array by the item. So it will not be calling it as a structure on its own. It will be calling it as the format it is being saved, which is a string. So if we print this type, if we get this data type now, so let's say okay, echo, all right, get this data type of this very array. So you will see what we are saying about. So let's do that now. So if we do this and reload, we see we have type array banana. You see the string, all right, telling us that we're getting, because we got one, which is banana. So we see it's telling us it's banana, but it's a string. So but if we place it as the year to be the banana year to be saved as an integer, just one, it will read it as one and call it an integer. You see it now. So it's seeing it as one, then it's also calling it as an integer. So that's the way you can call each item in an array. You can not just only call an item in an array, you can also create an item in an array. So let's say an array can also be saved. Arrays can be created by using the notation of, instead of calling it array, you can also use the notation of saying dollar array virtual, let me just say true, and create it like this. You can create an array like this. All right, so this is also an array. You getting it now? This is an array. It's not different from this other array in storage. Array in storage. It's not different from this other arrays we did just now. Where is it? All right, this one. But the method of declaration is the different. You have to call the array here, the keyword array, and give it a parenthesis. But with this one, you don't need to call it because you have already given the symbol of a sequence. So it will, or list, it will sequence, it will just define it for you. I know that it's an array, so you can make do of it. So if I want to add to an array, I can just call the array array 1. I can add to array 1 by giving it an orange, and I can print the array 1. So the array 1 will come out as an orange. But before that, let me give, okay, there's a break before here. Let me give a break here. Okay, break to declare here. Alright, so the same thing too. If I want to add to the second one, I will just call it also an array virtual 2, and I can also add to that by giving it anything I want to give it. I can give it we don't have an orange, we don't have a banana, and let's give it we have 0, 1, 2, can give it 3, and just call it watermelon. All right, that's a good one. So we can also print the array of this. So let's check that. And if we come here, we load, we see definitely our cherry was out. Okay, we have cherry, banana, and this and that was added. Now we have banana, number, grapes, and watermelon. So we can also have an array inside an array. It's not a bad thing to have an array inside an array. You can choose to have an array inside an array. It doesn't affect that. So we can choose to have this as an array. Okay, yeah. So you see that now. Oh, well, I can have an array inside an array. Alright, so if I save this and I reload this, so you see it gives me an array inside an array. You see it now. So this is called an associate array. So but it's okay. We're going to learn that all of it quite gently. So we see we have this array inside this array. So if you want to call this array, you have to define this item as the third item. And you call again another box and define the item on it. So it's easy. Just come here and do that. Also, you can echo and call the array 2 and give it 50. That's it. So it has given you this. So this is what we want to print out. So if we look at it now, we'll be getting the first one, which is watermelon. So you see that now, watermelon. So we got the number 3 and we got the item 0. So that's how you create an array inside an array. And we have the other one we want to see, which is an object. No, 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 no. I want to an object. Okay, we can also or if I forget, we can also edit. We say have to add. We can also edit an array. We usually edit an array by giving it the array like this, and we can say dot. We can see this there. We can also, this is a way of adding, but if we want to edit, we can use the right sequence there. If my watermelon is 3, I can say update this my value as 3 and update it to mango. All right, so if I come here now and reload, I will see my real watermelon. Okay, let's use the push and pull. This is the frequent one being done. Let's use that push, give my dots and push. All right, so if we push this, it will be added. All right, and if we pop this, it will also be, let's see that keyway. All right, in this, so we'll see that will be added also. Giving us a error for the undefined function push. Let's see, pop. Alright, let's see. Defined array pop. I think I'm using. Alright, let's take a look at our work. We defined this, but we did not print the array back. So let's see. Let's give it a break and let's reprint our array. Alright, so if I come back here, I reload, I will see that the mango took effect. So it's no longer watermelon, it's not mango. That's one. We didn't print our array, because when we print our array here, it was getting the information of this. So we need to reprint it again so we can get the recent information, because that's how it works with the server language. You need to reprint. So that's how this is how you update. You update by indexing. So then you also can add an element by using the keyword $array. All right, then you say array push. All right, this array push, instead of using one push, you can use the array symbol push, and then you have to reprint again unless you will not see the result just the way it worked the first time. So you can add again, telling me an error. So let's just check. It pushed into this. What's really the error? Okay, it said array information cannot be passed by referencing. So we'll just say what I think they want us to do here is we can remove this and add our array here. Alright, we'll add our array here. Alright, so we can add our array to what is going on. Alright, so then we'll put a comma. So this is the way you can push it, or let's give you an error. I think I'm correct. So let's go into it and check. So you see the key array here is be given as the fourth array. We have 1, 2, 3 here. This is the 3, the list of array inside it. Then this is the 4. All right, so you can always get an array from there, and you can merge an array. So you can merge these two arrays together by using the mesh property. So you just say array underscore mesh, and you can merge the two of them. So you can merge them and form them into one array. Alright, so let's see that. Alright, so we have created the first one, we have meshed it already. So let's give it a value. Say a new array, array new. Alright, let us call it like this. For our mesh new array, and just change here to new so we can see it. Alright, so that's it. So let's check again. Alright, so you see we have the new array. We have the first one, which is this cherry that ends here, then with the updated value with this orange. Then we have the banana starting from here, which is now 5, 6, 7, 8. So we meshed it with 3 plus 4 with the 0 alongside with it, make it what, give it what, 8. So that's how you mesh. And we've seen that we have been able to edit using an index. We are able to add using a box bracket. Yeah, we saw here in the beginning in an array. Alright, we can add using this. Alright, we saw that. Alright, that's how we add an array item and also have an array into it. We saw different methods. So let's look at the second one, which is object. Object is easy. Object in JavaScript, we are not really going to talk on this much of this object, but it helps because it gives you a lot of things, and it has to do with object-oriented programming, which is PHP Oops. So we'll not be able to look at this at this stage, but we have an object. So I will undo that just to show you. They will also have a function as an object. Alright, you can also have a function for an array as an object. So it's important to know that, but we are not going to look at that also. You can really do that easily. Alright, so let's stop at an array. We'll get to the rest, we'll start seeing those things that we can do. So this is just the simple array. We have different data type. We have data type none in PHP. We have the none data type. Alright, so it gives you a none data type. It gives you a none data type. Alright, we also have the undefined data type. Alright, we have the undefined data type in PHP. Alright, so these are it. You can't really echo them, that's why it's giving you in comment. Alright, you can comment that and run that, it's there. So we also have some few other things like there. So these are all the data types that we have in PHP. So I will send you this file also as a zip in your in the platform. So just go through them. These are our data type. Alright, so you can easily see all the data types that we have worked on today. So thank you.